Yes, yes, yes. I want to welcome y'all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, not doing the most normal ass Carl. To DJ my front, I have my man, the one, the only, at Just Lex.
Carter and Just Lex.
Listen, I want to ask you so bad how you're doing today, and I don't want to be that guy, right? But I gotta be him just a tad. I don't really give a damn because I want to talk about beef.
Right.
And I know you want to talk about beef too. Pause. No diddy. Right. But I definitely want to talk about it. So
yeah,
you want to get straight to the beef?
I do. I just wanted to tie up a couple loose ends.
Go ahead. You can.
The funny part is he said, I got Chris walking around saying,
"Aw." When he did the first one, his mom was like, "Yo, wait a minute. What, do we have to have the talk with him?" No. I was like, "No, we don't." Like he's that's his voice of doing.
He's now entered the beef.
Yeah. Whoa.
So I got my kids walking around. It's 50, aka Ferrari.
That's crazy.
At 50, break it down.
Speaking of which, can I just tell you that, like, when he got the bike down the first day, I felt like, yo, I don't care what Lex did the last 3 years.
No, you should.
First thing I thought about.
Hey, either
no,
way.
No, we're still late. It doesn't matter that I did it in one day. We're late because you did the
late,
grind.
But at the same time, it's still like independent of everybody else. It's just between you and him. It's a moment that you're supposed to. Don't be thinking about me doing your moment.
But what got me though is that I was like, damn, his dad didn't teach him this. His dad bought him a bike for Christmas.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird situation you in.
Yeah, and I asked her, I was like, yo, you sent him a photo? She's like, yeah. I was like, I can only imagine like how you feel inside, but it's like, bro, you've had kind of the same.
So for the narrative, yeah, it's me versus you.
Yeah.
But in real life, oh yeah, I'm trying to run that score up against that. Me personally, we can still be cool.
How would you feel if another man taught your kids how to ride?
It wouldn't have happened.
I don't want to have a recap of Jonah's episode. Yeah, bro, what's going on? Yeah, you remember.
No, because that's why I was trying to place my mind in one of those things. Like, oh, how would I feel about this? I was like, nah, but I would never do that.
Right.
Like something crazy would have to happen. It'd have to be like a fluke accident.
Tying the tie?
I mean, I don't think he'd have to go anywhere else. Now, if someone else taught him a different trick, or just like real quick, like it was a 5-minute guess.
Well, it was a Windsor.
I mean, shit, I'm more of a. You got it.
Yeah, that's true. Because whoever teaches the Windsor is crazy. Hey, go ahead. It's cool.
Then the other part was the karaoke shit. Do you ever do karaoke?
No, I have. Yes, I have. I've gone out to karaoke bars. That last time I did that was probably college. Go ahead.
So I'm not. I don't do rap at karaoke. As crazy as this next sentence is gonna sound, I think it's too stereotypical. I don't do that, but the thing is, well, you
up there crazy because they don't know your story like we do.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because they do that, now they picked all these songs up. Anytime it came on, oh, this one's for you. No, I don't do rap. I have my go-to karaoke.
They treat you like a black man. Yeah. Oh, this is yours. Like, whoa, wait, relax.
But last night it was going for hours, and I was like, all right, fuck it, we're here. But then I did the one thing. I'm like, all right, if I got to do a rap verse or whatever, the one thing I'm never gonna do, definitely never gonna do, is a fucking Eminem song. But here we go. They put one up.
Oh, it came on.
They put one up.
Was it Lose Yourself?
No, because I would have just put the mic down. Like, come on now. They put The Way I Am up, which is respectable. Because, like, all right, you got to have amazing breath control for that one.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see if my 12-year-old muscle memory was still there.
Yeah.
Because I'm at the age now where there'd be albums, like full albums, I know front to back, and I'm forgetting lyrics.
Artists do that.
Yeah.
It happens. I think Jeezy was the last one I remember forgetting his lyrics during his verses.
Oh, yeah, it happens all the time. But I'm saying as a fan, if you're a real fan, most of the time you probably know those lyrics better than the actual artist does.
Right, because,
even if they perform it, because...
But I think the fair side is like say Wayne, who's probably got like a 700 song catalog.
Yeah, he's not gonna remember all that.
No, there's no way. And most of them he wrote inebriated, so...
But I'm saying most of the time if you're doing a karaoke song, you're probably doing a single or something that they perform on a consistent basis.
Right.
But anyway, transition into, I guess, keep it music. More beef.
Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of what you said, like about the karaoke, and we were talking about the ends and all that. So that was in the notes, right?
Oh, was it?
Like the way, like it was answered, like what got me was like, Ninja, I don't know, right? And I was like, I said, I know Lex thought about this if he wrote it, I was like, you know what? Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. Let me see who the authors are if she even accepted my invitation. And
you thought I wrote that?
Yeah, I bet you did. I was like, yo, he's really freeing himself. Like, yo, what's up with him? Anyway, transition to beef. My bad. I just had to get that one out of there.
I guess that could be as entertaining because we seem to be on the same page this week. So
because she had Quavo. You had Quavo versus Chris Brown, which I never heard I didn't hear it actually. Did you hear it? Can you play it?
Can I play it?
Yeah, I want to play a 20-second snippet of it. I'll cut it out because I didn't hear anything at all. I just saw the words that they wrote up. I was still so upset. I played the new Drake disc 20,000 times that night, and then
he's not really.
The beat is hard though.
Yeah, the beat's hard.
The beat's hard. And I tell you what, Kanye's never been real lyrical miracle type dude.
No.
You know what I mean? He's always just been real catchy, but he makes great beats, bro. He has less to talk about than Rick Ross. I will say that. Rick there's a fine line between those two. I mean, I'll listen to it. The beat is hard enough for me to want to play it again, but I'm kind of off Ye now, I think. I'm finally at the point now where I can say, you know what? This has been enough bullshit over time to where you're right. I'm gonna go listen to your old shit, bro.
I thought the same thing too, but then I get on that the beat's good enough for me to tolerate.
No, I'll listen to it, but he's not gonna get me oh, I can't wait to hear this. I'll listen to that Monday or Tuesday
because I really, really enjoyed Donda, and he was already at that point with me. Not only is he doing all this shit, but it's also he's trying to make a gospel album. And then he did that, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, but I mean, then he go off. See, then he go off. He do something good, then you go off and you do your bullshit, and it's bro, I can't. Go do what you're doing. I'll get to it eventually. Or I won't, right? I'm at that point now. I missed a few games this weekend from being outside and, working with the kids and stuff that I was just it's not that big. I missed the Laker game. I missed all the games today, the Clippers and all that. It'll be all right. First round, I'm not too worried about. I'll watch it in the summertime. But anyway, back on beef. So Drake came out with a new song late Friday night using AI of Snoop and Tupac. And then he also...
And Dr. Dre.
And then he ended up hopping on too. It was almost like a motivational thing. So... the word was at the time that Kendrick was going to do a diss song over a Tupac beat. They didn't say which one. And then to Drake's knowledge, he thinks that Kendrick didn't drop the diss this week because Taylor Swift came out, which my brother-in-law tells me that Taylor Swift came out on Thursday. Here's the thing. Any other time, this is how I knew that there might be some validity to what Drake is saying.
But I believe that.
But I don't think it's a problem, right?
No, it's not.
But and I feel like she asked Kendrick to do her a solid, because I had no idea that Taylor Swift was dropping an album.
Oh,
Mark brought up also that, Diddy is getting, a lot of slack taken off of him because of the beef. We're talking about those things. And I told y'all that the biggest loser in all of this, Diddy's a winner, but the biggest loser in all this is Big Sean, right? We got a war going on that's on its way brewing in the Middle East right now between Israel and Iran. And I can't even think about anything because I'm so worried about what's going on, if Kendrick Lamar is going to respond or not, right? That's clouded everything that I would typically cycle through in the news week because everyone wants to throw in reels and memes. And I start looking at stuff, missing notifications. I don't watch the news as it is, right? So anyway, I don't want to break down the song yet because I want to hear from you. What's the name of the track? Give it to him.
Oh, the Drake thing?
Yeah, the Drake track.
Tailor-made freestyle.
Tailor-made freestyle. There we go. So tell us how you feel about it.
I do. Well, I knew Taylor Swift was coming out of an album because she announced it at the Grammys, and I happen to be one of the 16 people that watched the Grammys. And actually, that's not why I knew, because I didn't remember that. I wouldn't have remembered the date. The Grammys happened 2 months ago. It was weird because my algorithm wasn't really Taylor Swift heavy-ish. Not that it would be, but I feel like it's big enough to where I just wouldn't escape it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was coming out on Friday. I think he said Thursday because it's one of those, it's midnight, but it's Thursday at 9:00. So that's what probably he meant. I don't think she reached out to Kendrick to do her a solid. I tend to side with Drake on this one. He didn't drop it because, you got to move out the way. Drake giving her the credit she deserves, she's the biggest gangster in music right now. And what he say on his
he said he moved this shit too.
He's like he's the only one that would do that for. And I'm like, all right, well at least we're all telling the truth.
Right.
right?
But he was shitting on him for not doing this still, which was funny to me.
Yeah, but and this is why it's weird, right? And I said AI Dr. Dre that's just because I felt like he typed in the AI machine, give me a Dr. Dre beat, and that's what it came up because it was nasty. I felt disgusted listening to this because remember, and it's the thing, I don't like to listen to AI music,
and it was mastered.
So
nasty.
All this stuff that's been coming out, including the real one, the previous one he did, the leak, it took me all day to listen to it because I was waiting for confirmation. Because I'm just like, you guys could have your talk, but I'm not gonna get into this. And then so I heard what he did. I was like, man, there's Tupac, Snoop, and then there's a real Drake verse. I was like, okay. And they're saying, he's trying to 8 Mile the thing. And then I saw a little picture of like a cartoon Tupac talking down to Kendrick, like he's trying to like big bruh him. And I was like, did he do what I think he did? So then I was like, all right. So I hit play. And was like, oh. The thing about it gave me a little bit of hope that we can hold on to this real music shit before AI takes over. Because this is a scary thing for me personally. Because I think most people aren't as passionate about music in general just because there's so much other shit to consume.
Right.
That overall music might be down. But for me, it's still important to where like this can like ruin everything. Like some people don't care about AI music. This shit scares the fuck out of me.
But I don't think people liked it as much as you think.
Not that they like it, but it's gonna, if they don't dislike it enough, it's gonna happen.
I don't think it was cool though. I don't.
And the thing that gave me hope was, okay, yeah, you can do however they're doing it, where they're saying the verse themselves and then the AI does the voice for him, as long as they have the lyrics or however it goes, right? But it was pretty clear. It was Tupac's voice, but it had Drake's delivery.
Yeah, that's what I was really about to highlight on.
Because it was very, like...
You could tell by the way the rhyme patterns were that it was him.
And not even just the rhyme patterns. That's the wrong person, especially for someone like Drake. Tupac's the wrong person to try to AI or try to mimic with the voice thing because we're on, non-West Coast, but if you talk to people from the East Coast, and I'm not going to put them all together, but there's a lot of people that think Tupac is not a great rapper. They're like, okay, yeah, he's, iconic, he's, whatever, but he's not a great rapper. Stop lying. And, I see what they're trying to say. It's just not true.
He's a great songwriter.
But it's not even that. The thing about Tupac, why people treat Tupac the way they do, outside of the fact that he died at a certain period, is his delivery. So even if he's not saying the most complex shit, like rapidy rap, he makes you feel it. So he is on this level of an artist because of how he makes you feel.
Like a poet.
Not because of what he said.
Like Def Comedy Jam poetry.
And that was clear in this AI shit, which was like, what the fuck is this? It clearly sounds like Drake, and he's like the complete opposite. Drake don't make me feel anything he says. Like, it's like a soft delivery, and Tupac is more, at least in the later years, like more of an aggressive.
I would say he's enthusiastic. No,
and
for real.
And then Snoop, who's more laid back in his delivery, that was clearly not right either.
Well, here's the thing, though. Snoop don't write like that, though.
He can't. Like, I know what you mean. So
I know what you mean too. But I feel like that Snoop that we know is back in that time. We haven't gotten anything. I told Adele that. I was like, yo, we haven't gotten nothing like. I said, Snoop ain't written like this in a very long time. And matter of fact, this is like an updated version of that too. But I ain't heard him barring up like this. No.
There was that. So like, if you take a step back, I see what Drake was trying to do and how he thought it might have been clever. But the execution... Like I tell my kids every day, no risk, no reward, and this is a clear example of when shit can go left.
But people like it. I saw one of my favorite artists was like, yo, like at this point, like, yo, that rappity rap shit from Kendrick ain't gonna work. I remember I sent it to you on the group chat. He's like, yo, it ain't gonna work. I feel like he gonna have to bring us some visuals or something now because now, bro, bring it in AI, like.
And that's kind of what happened to your battle rap community, right? It became like who has props and who can do it's not just about what's going on. Now, I feel like when Lux brought in the coffin and did all that shit, that kind of changed it up a little bit.
I don't think that's what killed battle rap, but go ahead.
But there's obviously it's really hard to be objective these days. So I think people are just like, oh, Drake fans be like, no.
Is it a point for Drake?
Perfect. Not for me. And I was West Coast bias aside. Now my West Coast bias definitely, after I heard it, I said, oh no, rip this motherfucker to shreds.
Well, I think
but stepping back objectively, I was just like, no, this just isn't it. One, I don't like AI. Two, it wasn't executed. If you got me to a point where I was like, okay, well at least the verse sounded like Tupac.
I don't think you can do that.
Maybe. And maybe it's kind of weird too because we had, even though it's a little different, Kendrick on To Pimp a Butterfly, ironically, had a fake conversation with Tupac at the end of the album.
But you thought it was done in good taste.
No, yeah, because it sounded genuine and it sounded more organic. This is more like, it's like you didn't even care. For you to hold Tupac or Snoop so high end to where you're like, let me get the big dogs of the West Coast to talk down to who they think is the king right now. And to do it like that, clearly, your ass just need to be in Toronto. You don't need to worry. Like, Calabasas is not, you're not getting it from over there. And so, yeah, I was a little upset. But then again, too, people, this whole, like, Kendrick on the clock thing, I don't understand.
I was telling that to my brother-in-law. He was like, he's got 7 days. I said, yo, Drake took 2 weeks or 3 weeks to respond. Oh, he was on tour. I said, bro, it sounds like you're giving me an excuse. Right, because the difference is we don't have access to Kendrick Lamar, right, and he doesn't grant us that, so you don't know what he's doing. If he's busy, he's busy. But because Drake tells you that, oh, he's got to respond now, I was like, bro, if you look back on the last beefs that they had, like it took Kendrick this long to respond to him back in the day when it was doing back and forth jabs.
Were they doing back and forth?
Yeah, there's some subliminal stuff that
Or did Drake take 10 years to respond?
No, I looked it up. There is a little bit of a history there, and it makes sense. There's speculation because it hasn't been written. I'm waiting on Kendrick to see what's up.
But and then again too, I'm not gonna. That's why the whole Taylor Swift thing. Even though I totally believe that he would not drop it if he planned on dropping it this weekend for Taylor Swift, I still think he's waiting. Because he's looking at the reaction right now. I dropped a 16 on a #1 song in the country. That's still #1.
Not anymore.
Did it stop this week?
I want to say that Drake's new song is #1.
Drake's new song?
I don't know where it's #1 at because there's different metrics for different places.
I'm talking about the overall #1. Like we haven't had like this. This is the biggest deal.
My brother-in-law showed me something, and Drake's new song, because he put it on Apple Music, I think took over #1.
That must be a different type of #1 I'm talking about then.
Which
saying #1 on the urban. This is #1 like on Billboard. The one that Drake cares about.
Look, we got internet. We can check. Keep going though.
I don't think anyway. There's no way that Drake song gonna take #1 because if it's not gonna be Future, it's probably gonna be like a Beyonce song right now until Taylor comes in. But yeah, if it's still #1 right now and it's causing this much of a stir to where all I did was throw some jabs and I got one person bowing out and apologizing. I got this other person that's like trying to resurrect the dead to sun me because he can't do it, and then he's wandering around with these memes and trying to play these like Instagram games and trying to tell me how to move. Like clearly everyone's bothered and I'm not bothered, so I'm gonna take my time because it seems to bother you.
Oh, you're right. It's still #1. Damn, SZA is still on there.
I'm not gonna step. Why would I step on that?
Not at all. You know why? Why not? I'm gonna tell you else why not. Because I watched that Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight last night. They played like that 3 times in that arena. They played it like 2 fights before the main event. They played it before the main event, and then they played it right at the end when they were exiting. And I was like, yo, Drake can't escape this. Imagine if he like Devin Haney or he like Ryan Garcia and you hear them drums in the background. Like, bro, you're right. Kendrick, for anyone that thinks that Kendrick is losing or that like Drake is like having his way with him, he's not. Drake can't escape the fact that that song is so good in an era where we don't listen to music this often, right, as a whole, and hear it in different venues and stuff. He's got to live with that.
Just because you dropped more disses doesn't mean you're winning.
I think that this last one that he said that he had though, and the shit that he said in it was enough to be like, all right, Kendrick, don't let him talk to you like that. That's how I felt.
If the best bar you got is about how the size of my shoes, you're clearly bothered, and I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah, but you know what? It's one of those things too where like you step on the allure. Like if you take off the Tupac beat and you replace it with a Tupac conversation, like go ahead, put your little song out now. It's a woman. You know why you pause? Because I paused at the same thing. That's a woman tactic, right? Or like, yeah, look, let me beat you to some shit that you thought you was going to arrive to, right? They good at that. The reason why I call it a woman tactic is because it works beautifully. If you beat me to what I'm about to say and you got the enthusiasm and shit like that, like if let's say if you gave me some money or whatever and I lost it and you talk to me about financial responsibility and I just beat you to it, like, yeah, I know, like it's important to keep my money in the bank because they have returns on interest, blah, blah, blah. What do you say after that? Well, I mean,
that's the whole 8 Mile tactic, right? It wasn't executed right. But yeah, if that song is living, especially in a microwave era where a song can hold a number one spot, any song, including Beyonce and something like that, can hold a spot that long, it's more impressive today than it used to be.
Yes, absolutely.
To the point where people like, this is what, week 4? And I just now used it for the intro? Instead of when it first came out, when I
still ring a little hard too when it come on.
People was wondering, I thought for sure you was going to use this intro.
And we still got the remix too. We got a remix like this week. So it's like, it's still hot. Like 4 weeks later, you can still, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say Drake is winning this, but as far as like speaking the loudest, yes, he's doing that. But this is to be already
just because you the loudest don't mean you right.
No, it's right. You're
that's
absolutely.
Another. I don't want to say another because that means that it's not a woman tactic. But some people think if I'm loud enough, that means I'm right, and it don't work like that.
Maybe she wrote these down because it make it easier for her to remember what she was thinking in the moment.
Let me get these off before I forget.
I forgot she's a rook, so it's all good. Seasoned vet. Go ahead, hit my hand.
Did you read some of it?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I'm reading it on accident because I'm trying to get to this shit, man.
Oh, man.
That's funny as hell, man. Do you think people fall in love because of the right person has arrived, or because the right person has arrived, or because the timing is right? So I think that for me, it's a timing thing, right? And the reason why I would say, random shit to fill in time. The reason why I say it's a timing thing is because there could be, as a man, right, as my own person, for me, there was a time where I was, dating women. Right. But I didn't want to be in a serious relationship because I liked the variety at the time. Right. And specifically like college, between college and being like 26, 20. Yeah. Well, at that point, 26. Yeah. 27. Make sure I get my numbers right. Right. Because I got to remember like what time. Yeah. 26 is, I would say, was when I was like, yo, you know what? All right. I'm ready. Because, part of it for me was like, being in school and being up there, like Fishbowl, I was like, let me get back to a major city at being 21 and living here. Like, let me enjoy life a little bit. Went to pool parties and stuff like that, clubs and stuff, went out to like beer fest and went out every weekend and, flew to different places and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, after a while, I was like, I gotta, talking to you and shit like that, I was like, I need to buy houses and stuff like that. I need to get to it because the market is getting bad. Every time I'd ask you, So I just felt ready by the time that like I met my wife. It wasn't, you could be the right person. I probably met plenty of women at that time where like, had I been in a better space or whatever, that I could have, right? But I think more so, I wouldn't be accepting of that right person at that point. My wife is the right person, good timing at the same time, right? It's a combination of both. And that's how I never had doubts getting married because I, had time to be able to understand that this was the right person, even though I've changed significantly since we've been together. Right. But it was the right person because that person was the person that like brought me to be the person I am today.
Yeah, I wish this question was a little more. We disagree more on it just for the sake of the show. Because it is a little bit of both. But yeah, timing has to be more important. Because again, if the right person comes along, but I'm not ready, it's just going to mess that up. And sometimes the timing is so right and you so ready, sometimes you might force it. And then you might fuck with the wrong person.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's... Damn, I thought I had a better point than this. Just lost track of mine. But I would say if you feel like... I don't believe in soulmates. I think any two people can make it work if they're both willing to put in the work.
What's the minimum qualifications for you?
Well, see, that's what I mean. So in general, if people believe in soulmates, then there's somebody for everybody.
How much does looks matter to you in that calculation too?
No,
like, can you be with someone that you weren't like attracted to just based off of like their, and it can't, like, I'm not saying something like really bad. Just say like that person may not be something that like you would be comfortable with over time.
I don't think so, but at the same time, I think there's like compensation, right? So if you're like extra dope in this one area, that might make up for whatever you're lacking in another area, and vice versa in any of the categories that you're thinking about when you're looking at a potential mate. But in general, I think any two people can make something work as long as they work. And there's like that old person saying about like, don't ever fall in love, because if you fall in love, you can fall out of it. Like work on love or some shit like that. I know I'm butchering it, but it's more of a
the concept is there though. I get what you're saying. Like you basically have to come ready to work. Right, like
all the time.
but it's not something that like, oh, it's a feeling. Love isn't necessarily a feeling or an emotion to me anymore, though. It's more of an action. Because
those feelings subside. That's why they call it a honeymoon phase. That's why time heals all, or whatever. All those types of things. Because the human brain, you cannot sustain a mood long term. Any mood,
right.
That you can't get too high on your highs, you can't get too low on your lows, because they're not real. It's never as bad as you think, and it's never as good as you think.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be mindful of that when you're maneuvering through a relationship or just life in general. And you can't. Yeah, you got to be. It takes two people to work, and if two people are willing to work, then I really think you can put any two people together. Now, obviously, if you're totally not attracted to them, and all, like, factors matter to where it'd be difficult. But if you have an open mind and you're willing to work, I don't believe in soulmates. You can make it happen.
I think the worst part of it is that like the way I look at it now is long term. So I was playing golf yesterday. Ooh, big shocker. But there was a girl in there. I hadn't seen her in a long time or whatever, maybe about like 2 or 3 months. Ever since my kid's been playing sports, so 4 or 5 months. And she's like, "Oh, I haven't seen you." And I was like, "Yeah." So we got to talking because it was like a long ass wait. So I was like, "Well, shit, I ain't got nowhere to go. I'll probably get another drink," because like we were literally waiting like 13 minutes per hole. Right. So I'm like, I'm not about to just sit here. One of the guys I was playing with didn't even speak English. So I'm like, holler at her real quick, see how she been. So she goes into like, she starts getting, I told her, I said, yo, if I wasn't married right now, I told my wife that I would have a very hard time with being out here because people don't have a lot of face-to-face conversations anymore, right? Like I said, I feel like a lot of people live through screens right now. And she said, yeah, she's like, for a while I was trying to go on dating apps and everything. My friends were telling me to go on there, but fuck that. Like, I don't want to do that or whatever. And I was like, well, you might want to give it a try, right? But the one thing that I realize now as being older is that compatibility matters, right? And long-term compatibility matters, right? Physical compatibility is cool, right? Starting out in the time frame that we living in right now. But I think that emotional and emotional and developing like compatibility over time, because we change. Shit changes when you have kids, bills, house, a larger responsibility.
Stay right there.
No, I'm gonna be here. It's compatibility.
And that's what it is, right? That's why it's like compatibility matters. But the work comes because you evolve. You continue to evolve. You continue to change.
Right.
So it's not, so people get it confused. Like, oh, wow, it's so easy. We like the same music. We like the same stuff. Everything is whatever. They're my soulmate. And it's like, no, the timing of it, you guys are compatible maybe. And then as you grow and start to change, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, it's easier for people who are compatible to make it happen. But any two people can make it happen. So the goal would be, the first goal is you got to know yourself. What do you want? What can you tolerate? What are you looking for long term, at least in what you think is long term in the moment? And can someone fit in there if they know all that? And then once you find somebody like that, you're like, oh yeah, this is cool. I could see it. And then you got to start working on it. And then once it seems like you guys are on the same page, you both want to work, you both want the same things for now, and you both understand, hey, things change, but because the communication is there, you're never going to be too far off the same page, and you can grow together. And then most of the time, if you say, hey, this seems right, we can get married, it might work out.
Right.
But a lot of people, they don't understand all that going in.
We've had some bad fights, right, over the years, right? But we haven't had a fight to a certain magnitude in about 3.5. And I've always encouraged her to talk her shit, right? I don't think she was able to do that previously before with other guys that she had dated. Like, say what you got to say. I'm not about to get, upset. Matter of fact, Alex and my friends talk to me way worse than anything that you can say to me right now. So I'm not going to trip. And I be testing her by saying shit. I'll say smart stuff back real quick, but we could just go. It's like that old bickering shit. Like, you talk your shit, I talk my shit, then we go. But I don't do nothing that's super consequential anymore to be to the point where it's unbearable. So we're compatible in that. I know what pushes her buttons. She know what pushes mine. We can say what we need to say out front. We have some of the same goals in regards to what kids should be doing and what they should be on. Today I got my daughter's ass because she wanted to have a meltdown in regards to riding the bike while she's riding the bike the right way. Right. And my wife is agreeing with me. It'd be shit like that. Those small things. When I met her, we watched Insecure together. Right. I told her, hey, check out the Joe Budden podcast. We would watch shows. We don't do none of that shit really anymore. Why? Because she falls asleep at 8:30. Right. I be up. So now I know that you was faking it. You was really tired when you was up with me before, because she been going to sleep early since I met her. But because we had just met, she was like, oh, let me be who
you can't sustain it forever.
Yeah. Which I'm all right with. Do shit on your own. That's cool. She go to the gym now, right? Like more consistently. So it's all right, now I got to change that up because that's something that's important to her. My days change, right? So, part of that compatibility and growing together and working on love is accepting that people are going to change. Things aren't going to stay the same. I hate talking to people and they be like, oh, you're different now. Well, yeah, I'm supposed to be different. You know what I mean? And that means that this is going to be different too, but we are both committed to this, especially if you get married, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a marathon. And people have different definitions of what long term really means, or what marathon really means, or what, a rough patch really means. I heard Michelle Obama said they've been together 30 years. She's probably hated him for maybe 10. That's a long time.
It is.
But at the same time, if she's like, yeah, you know what? Every day is not going to be perfect. 1 out of every 3 days, I can't stand you.
I want to know when that 10 was, though.
You know when that 10 was.
Oh, when he was the actual president?
I'm pretty sure.
He probably walking around here talking crazy. Sit your ass down.
The thing is, I just read his book, and it's pretty clear.
That what?
She's the most amazing woman in the world.
Oh, because of the shit he was on?
Not necessarily it being all his fault, But at the same time, like, she's had to adjust, to say the least, to a lot. To a lot. Think, like, historically.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
what was her thing that she wanted to do?
I'm not going to speak for her, but I mean, it's just more like, hey, okay, well, you kind of know, like...
No, what I'm saying is, does she have an interest in politics herself? Because even if she didn't, she's in it. That's what I'm getting
She's
at.
not.
Yeah.
No politics.
Okay, I can see why you would.
Everyone keeps saying, like, oh, yeah, she'd be a great president. And she's just like, nah, like, we out of here.
And not only that, you're the first black one. You're the first reference we're always going to go back to for the rest of our life. And the thing is,
if she would be doing the same thing she did for him if she was listening to the people. She's looking at him, because at first she's like, oh, yeah, like, he's ambitious. I love this and that. But this fool think he about to be doing all this stuff. And it kind of happened.
Right.
And so she's like, well, I can't, even if I want to be like him personally, like, okay, I don't want to step on his dreams, but you're asking me to do a little too much. She's taking a step back and be like, damn. But like, it's not just about me. Like, this is like for like black people in general. Like, this is a big deal.
Right.
He's got to at least take his shot.
And I got to be there to support him.
But you know what? Because every step of the way, he ain't about, okay, he's a little.
He ain't about to be a senator.
He a little senator now.
Yeah.
And then so and then the whole thing, like, imagine that. Imagine, obviously, maybe it doesn't seem
but
crazy
when he
now.
becomes a senator, that means that he's got a bigger chance than he ever had.
But imagine it. But still, even with a better chance in 2007, like. He was constantly campaigning because he rose super quick. He was never in one place that long.
Right. You can't be.
So we were just like, damn, we never thought you'd be senator. And here you are. And right as that happens, everyone's like, yo, he might be the one. And then he starts to believe it. And she's like, what?
Somebody said it to him.
And then so he's like, because he believed in the dream. And she was like, fuck out of here. But here we go. On the campaign trail again, doing all this long-term shit. And then this motherfucker actually won. I really got to live in this shit for... whatever.
He ain't gonna do another 4 after this, though.
I think by that time she knew he was gonna do another 4.
Maybe a small piece of her.
But this whole like, shit, we ain't got nobody else that's good. Michelle, you gotta come back. She ain't coming back. But
he can't run again anyway, can he?
No, you can only have 2 terms.
Yeah, he done. She ain't coming back. But we're talking about compatibility and sticking it out with people and everything.
But I can imagine during that time is even though he was doing everything he could and he made history and everyone's history and, taking a step forward for a whole culture and race, like all that's fine and dandy. But as an individual, I'm sure that carries a lot.
Absolutely.
A lot of negative feelings and a lot of resentment probably built up to this man.
Your life has changed forever. Yeah.
Towards like the whole world, not the whole world, half the world loves this man. And I'm on the fence between the half that loves him and the half that understands I don't fuck with him either.
Yeah. Y'all don't know the real him.
And like,
I'm gonna give me a small one.
And then I think on the surface, right, when we look at them, we're like, oh, that's couple goals.
Right.
Not knowing, okay, it could be couple goals, but you don't exactly know
what it takes
the
to be here.
He's going he's over here sneaking cigarettes on the White House lawn. And shit like that.
He's just thinking too. I feel it. I've had some days like that where you just gotta go outside. You just be like, yo, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I just need to chill. You got a lot on your mind.
We all been through it, but like
it's on a greater scale.
But it's also if you understand that that's part of the gig.
He could
not as a president, part of the gig of being in a relationship with somebody. Whether you a president, because if you're not stressing about the world and all the shit that comes with being president, you stressed about paying your rent. If you a welder or whatever the fuck you got going on. Right. There's going to be stress in day-to-day life, whether you got this status or this money, or you just trying to make something happen and survive.
Easily. So
when you bring in on people, like I'm a big fan of the show Naked and Afraid, right?
Yeah.
The hardest part of that show is dealing with your partner. Feel like, man, this shit might be so much easier if I didn't have to deal with people.
That's real. And some dudes do all right.
I walk around not naked and afraid, like regular clothed in regular life. Like, man, life would be so much easier if I didn't have to fucking deal with people.
Yeah.
But we do.
That's how I knew. I told her, I was like, yo, we getting old because like I don't want to do things in crowded. We went to Dave and Buster's today, bro. I was like, yo, I do not want to be here. Like, It's just too much. It's like a casino for kids. They don't have no windows in that bitch or nothing. It's just noise. That shit, you got to walk all the way out. Bathroom is in the far corner, so you ain't got to go nowhere. Whoever made that place, complete mind fuck. Great psychology. I just know when to fold them, right? So, look, you getting $35 in tickets, you get 35. Anyway, how long did we spend on that, man? I just double check. Oh, man, we're 52 seconds in. Yeah, well, go ahead. That was a good enough one for me. Read them a week. Let's see if we can oppose each other on this. Am I in the wrong for eating my coworker's food in the fridge? My coworker asked me to dog sit for the weekend while she and her husband spent the weekend away. They paid me $150 and I just left this morning. I've been there since Thursday. While I was there, I ate some of their food. They didn't have much in their fridge, but they had a few pack of frozen vegetables that you can microwave. There was a total like 8 of them, and in the 3 days I was there, I ate 3. My coworker texted me and asked if I ate their food. I said yes, and she kind of started going off on me about how she was saving that food for her lunches. She also asked me to pay her $50 back since she paid me extra so I could order food instead of eating hers. I feel like this is so ridiculous. I told her I would just buy her the frozen vegetables, and she said to forget it and send me the Venmo information. I see her at work every day. Is it worth $50? Am I in the wrong for eating her food? While I was there, I didn't eat anything else. I didn't eat breakfast, and I supplement my lunches with a protein shake. I just had her vegetables.
You just had a pack of vegetables?
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. We can both agree that the ridiculousness over the vegetables is kind of crazy, right? Or do you feel like he's in the wrong for touching her stuff?
I'll argue that point.
That he is not or is in the wrong?
That he is the wrong, if that's what you want me to do.
No, I want you to be honest.
I can be honest.
Be honest. No, be honest about how you feel.
I can do both, and I'll be perfectly fine.
Do the one you feel that you would actually do.
Okay, well, because
you're not going to say anything.
I think there's both sides.
But let's say someone that you cared about, or we do this. Imagine someone that you know would typically be mad about certain things like that. How would you and let's say if they were, how would you defend it, or would you tell them, hey, look, is it really that big of a deal?
The thing is, a therapist said I gotta stop using that phrase, so I'm trying.
What?
It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
Because I've minimalized so much that I don't know anything anymore. So anyway, here's the thing. She said, "Oh, I paid you more so you can order food." We don't know if that was said. Right? Because that would change everything. Like, where is this energy coming from? I gave you this extra money and I told you to whatever. Then I'd be like, all right, I mean, she got a fucking point. Because my whole thing is, I wouldn't be mad if you ate perishable items.
Okay.
Hey, this produce about to go bad, whatever. Don't start going into the frozen shit, though. Come on, man. Yeah, it said freeze by. I froze it. That shit mine.
I think where it's outrageous to me though is you think that I'm gonna give you $50.
$50 for look. I know inflation crazy,
and I think the $50 was because he didn't spend it on extra food or whatever. But paying me $100 to watch your dog for 2 days when I know you would pay more at the vet place or whatever, and you asked me for a reason, I wasn't your first yes.
Oh yeah, you gotta understand, like the rookies in the league, that petty cash, that per diem. Yeah, I gotta pocket that.
Yeah,
my real contract ain't here yet.
Yeah.
So if you give me 50 for food and I only spend 30, I'm like, cool. I need this.
Yeah, that's it. That's the law of the land.
Right. So in actual application, if I'm him, I'm gonna just run her the 50 back. Yeah, I want to buy her the vegetables.
Whoa.
I want to buy her
for
the
real.
vegetables.
Like that's for real. You why? I need to know why.
Because I get it. I'm like, yo, can I just replace the vegetables? 50 sounds kind of crazy.
Yes, but after she says no and sends you the Venmo,
I'm gonna just do it.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Why?
Because I'm sorry, Doc, because it ain't that big of a deal, man.
That's crazy. No, that's the thing, right? You can't say that, okay, now I'm with the doctor. I'm with the doc on this one. Yo, you can't say that and then give them back the 50 because the 50 itself is the big deal. The frozen vegetables that are $5.89 a pack, that's actually $15, I'll give you 15 back and I'll keep the 35 if I were feeling generous.
I understand what you mean by that.
Yes.
Because that's the same thing as yo, I'm going to the store next week. I'll just pick you up a couple bags and I got you.
Yeah.
I get that part.
Now I'm paying you for the attitude. That's what it really is. Like I'm paying you because of the discomfort you felt opening your refrigerator and noticing that you still had a 5-day supply for your lunches.
Because on the other...
Because if you had 8, right? It don't make sense. Was there a day you was planning not to cook if you was doing 2 days on 2 meals a day?
No, because also on the other end of things, I would have, and this is another big thing I've been working on. I've been working on not making assumptions. Right?
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, okay. And I think we had a...
This might be an episode where you're better than me.
We had a read 'em and weep about whatever, something too about, that part doesn't matter. But if I'm over here, hey, or something about ordering a pizza, you should have ordered, or they ate too much pizza that they ordered for their kids, the babysitter, some shit like that. When it's like, if it's not clearly communicated what's going on. So yeah, you didn't communicate that this extra 50 was so I can go get my own shit while I'm here doing you a favor.
Right.
But at the same time, you paid me for a service, right? And I didn't assume, well, shit, I'm stuck here. She expects me not to eat. I didn't ask no clarifying questions. And so if I can't make the assumption that I can go into this person's fridge, even though I'm staying here, and just start touching their shit, that's a, you can't do that. You can't just go up in anybody's fridge.
Then I shouldn't be at your house.
No. Yeah, when you get to a certain level with people, and that used to be...
If I stay at your house,
let me finish.
And I dog sit, and I'm taking your dog, and I'm picking the dog shit up off the floor, we are no longer I'm a guest in this house. I don't work for a company. I'm a friend of yours, right?
Well, if I
ate you out of house and home, I get that with 3 vegetables. Go ahead.
I get that side
now,
too.
I need
like,
you to pick one though. Jump on the fence because I need you to not give that 50 back.
Nah, because me personally, even if it's like, if we that good of friends, then I'm gonna reach out. I would have asked you, hey yo, can I slide these vegetables real quick? Because that's kind of crazy too. That's what I mean. I could have clarified some shit with you. Even if I didn't ask and I was just telling you, hey, yo, I'm going in this freezer. I'm about to, I got this big thing of rice. I need to throw some vegetables on it. I would have did that.
I'm not mad at it.
You can't just go up in anybody's fridge though. Once you get to that comfort level, that's real friendship and I get it. But nah, I can't make the assumption.
So here's the thing. As of April 2024, the average base rate for dog boarding in San Diego. Hey, I'm fucking Petty McGee, bro. Hey, Jonah said I was sick for this too. I told you, I be finding ways like, if you say something to me and I feel like that sound like complete bullshit, let me just go ahead and finish my shit. As of April 2024, the average best rate for a dog boarding in San Diego is $17.39 per hour. The weekly cost for dog boarding for a 40-hour week in San Diego is $700. Let's just go ahead and say that $17 an hour is 24-hour care. You're gone for 48 hours or whatever. You're paying a nice pretty penny. You're paying over the $150 clear as day that you're paying me. If I'm staying at your house and I'm giving up my life, I feel like the very least you're going to get me these vegetables. That thought process.
I get it.
No, you don't, because I'm going to tell you where you don't get it at. That thought process is enough for me to justify why I would tell you that and not give you your 50. Because that means to me it's a bigger deal because you're now taking advantage of me.
No, because I think both people is wrong in the communication.
You're right. But if this was you still feel like in light of what I just told you that you would just say, hey, this is the 50.
I would, because I would look at myself. What did I contribute to this miscommunication? I clearly didn't communicate a couple. If I would have said,
or maybe asking, okay, I give you that.
If I made an assumption and I'm like, you know what? I did just kind of go in there and get it. Now, if I shot you a text and maybe you left it on red, then I feel a little more justified. Like, hey, you saw that I reached out.
I just think it's crazy to ask for a cucumber.
I get it.
I just think that's real petty.
But I look at even in
like using your car to go to the store. Okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Like if you left your cars there, Like if I'm showering there, which rooms are off like that I don't have access to, cool. You tell me to make me something, like, and I also think that like common courtesy, me as your coworker, and you have me over here doing that, like my house would be open, you know, like if I let you in my house is open to you.
Right, but do you hear what you're saying though? I would assume I would do this, I would do that because that's what you would do. Right? Everybody's different. And I have real life examples of me doing I've had to miss a show because I miscommunicated and it was like, okay, well, in the grand scheme of things, what I miscommunicated wasn't the biggest deal. But because I made the mistake, I'm like, all right, if there's a consequence to that.
Nah, but you were wrong in that one.
I'm not saying but I'm saying is, you're talking about something specific. I'm talking about this happens more than once.
You know which one I'm talking about,
I don't.
The most recent one. You got some tickets to go somewhere or whatever for somebody, and then, yeah.
No.
Okay, I thought it was that one. All right, cool. Never mind.
No, it's more of
that one you still wrong in, but don't worry about it.
No, it's where like sometimes I do things last minute.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, that's fair. So even though technically I could probably still come or I could do this and that, it's like, oh, I made a mistake. Now I created inconvenience or I did whatever, so I can't do this. And this has happened multiple times. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, but I think you're being like you're being something like to this nature, even though I get what you're saying, right? I feel like that applies to something that you know would be consequential to that person's home. If you dictate that vegetables is the line that you draw it off of, then I don't think I should hang with you.
I think it's more, it's not the literal vegetables. I think it's just like
But treating your house like a prison, like, yo,
your space.
You can go to the bathroom, you can sleep here, whatever. I don't know if this person slept there now.
But what I'm looking at is like, okay, maybe they're upset because it's like, maybe all that energy is coming from the fact that, hey, you could have just asked me.
Who knows that there's 2 bags of vegetables right now? You know how many vegetables you got in the fridge right now?
No, but what I'm saying is maybe because as a friend, I expect them to go in the fridge to put whatever they got or, leftovers or whatever, random shit. And okay, they take a peek and they see some other shit. So if it was as simple as they could have saw the vegetables, they could have asked me, I would have been like, cool. And because they asked, cleared up, this wouldn't be a thing. Maybe the energy has nothing to do with the vegetables. It's more the principle of like, come on, man. All you had to do was ask.
Cool.
It ain't that big of a deal.
I feel you. That's where I agree to disagree, where it's like, if that was like, I just be like, yo, we good. Because like, you've already shown me who you are. and we good. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm at this age now, bro, where like, I just let shit roll off a lot easier now than it used to be, right? And that's one of those ones where I just be like, all right, I'm good. Like, I don't even need friends right now, right? like we tried, you know what I mean? I watched your dog. We cool. I'm gonna keep my 50 though, and I'll see you at work on Monday. Like, no hard feelings, man. We ain't even gotta act like we hate each other. We just tried. Like, it's cool. And I swear to God, like people think I'm joking about that, but
that's okay.
But I've been on that, right? Like yo, I've showed it. So hit the hand clap. So I ain't gonna beat a dead horse with that. How much time we spent on that one? Oh, not too much. It wasn't too crazy. It was
I just saw the intro to a wild message in the chat, and I really want to finish with what was actually said.
They said something real crazy. Go while you do that. Go ahead and pull up. Why she put the crown on there? Go ahead and pull up the fun facts you came up with.
What did I put?
Got them shit somewhere in there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He said
the fun facts. I switched it up a little bit, and we call them fun facts, but I think we grew up like you wasn't outside for Snapple facts. So anybody ever buy? I'm pretty sure they still do it. Snapple still a thing?
Yeah, I don't buy something. Snapple was on some list. My wife.
The crazy, like the worst drinks to drink is
something like
sugar wise.
Yeah,
because everyone thought soda would be whatever, and like Coke's not even on there. Like the worst drink out there is mango naked juice, and everyone's like, "Oh, naked juice, brilliant marketing." People's like, "Oh, that's semi-healthy." It's the worst drink you can have. There's so much sugar in it.
That's crazy. I used to drink those too, thinking I was doing something.
Right.
Yeah, I'm done.
Even the green one's on that list.
Yeah, I trust me. I'm with you. There's only whatever juice she finds them on the list. Maybe that's why I've been slimming down a little bit, because like
sugar, that'll help out.
Yeah,
less sugar.
Drink a lot more water. Yeah, you gonna get the facts?
Yeah. So
you got them off top?
No,
I was like, yo, he different.
So Snapple facts, I found a list of Snapple facts that aren't actually facts. So they printed these saying, hey, these are facts.
And they're not.
And so the fun fact is Snapple actually released 12 false things on their caps.
Let's hear it.
Or maybe it's not 12, but here's what I got. Snapple fact 31. This is one of the Snapple facts that probably grossed you out when you read it. Good thing it's actually false. Okay. So what the Snapple fact was, during one's lifetime, you consume like 8 spiders when you sleep.
I did remember saying something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
And we might actually put it on the show.
I put that one on there.
And because, you sleep mouth open and then you're never more than 10 feet away from a spider. So over 80 years of life or whatever, at least 8 have climbed up in your mouth and you eat and you didn't even know about it. So they said that this is false. Spiders are pretty scared of people's movements, including breathing. So the likelihood that they would go near an open mouth is rare. It's extremely unlikely that you'll even swallow one spider in your life. So you can rest easy. That made me feel better.
It did, me too. I was a sigh of relief. I was like, yeah, the breath is a little hot. Maybe you don't want to touch it. It's 2 a.m. My mouth been closed for 3 hours.
Snapple fact number 830. We are able to measure how long a person is in the state of rapid eye movement while asleep, but measuring the actual length of a dream is more subjective. Okay, so this comes from the Snapple fact of every dream a person has lasts between 5 and 10 seconds. But when you're thinking about it, you're like, yeah, that dream had to be like half an hour. Right. I can remember this whole scene. But they're saying, oh no, everybody's dream is only about 5 to 10 seconds long. And we're like, oh shit, that's crazy. And they're saying that's false.
They can be longer.
Yeah, it's subjective. So,
but how do you even measure time on that? That's the thing. That's what
they're trying to do some like neuro shit for dreams, and but it's not something that we can scientifically do right now.
Yeah, the AI is still fucked up, so we ain't getting that.
Snapple fact number 70. Caller ID is illegal in California. That's just false.
Well, I knew that. We live here.
Right, but apparently outside of California, they thought that was a thing.
That we couldn't have it?
That was illegal, yeah.
That's crazy. We've been had that. Where they been at?
Snapple fact number 868. Thomas Jefferson invented the coat hanger.
I would never put that on here, but go ahead.
Thomas Jefferson invented a lot of things, including the wheel cipher and revolving book stand, but he did not create the coat hanger. Although he did invent the turning something for holding clothes, that may be the reason he gets credited for it. It doesn't say who actually invented it, but he ain't do it.
They ain't do it.
Snapple fact number 179. The Statue of Liberty was the first electric lighthouse. The Souder Lighthouse in the United Kingdom was actually the first lighthouse that used electricity. Wouldn't have known that anyway.
The Statue of Liberty is used as a lighthouse?
Yeah.
Oh, like finding out where you're at. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a simple function of a lighthouse. If I'm coming to
America, you see that? Like, hey, is where we at?
Yeah, the harbor's over there. Yeah, I feel you.
Snapple fact number 18. A jellyfish is 95% water. The fact isn't completely wrong, but is misleading. There are over 4,000 species of jellyfish, and they're all made up of different percentage of water. Yes, some are made up of 95%, but not all of them. Some of them are actually made up of 99.9% water.
They don't have brains, huh?
No.
Just floating all day. It's crazy.
Snapple, well, you can make the same case about a lot of people out here. Snapple fact number 89. The average human walks 18,000 steps a day.
No.
I know this is wrong.
I know.
I put in some work and I get to 18.
I work with the average. I work with that right now. Matter of fact, even today, where am I at right now? Let's see.
Are we doing that?
Yeah, let's see where.
I don't know. Not on Sundays. Don't know. Talk to me on a Monday.
Every day I'm moving, baby. 16,000, baby.
I'm at 10,200.
That's not bad.
For a Sunday, catch me on a week. Hey, holla at me during the week and compete with me on the watch.
I want them to do my average. It won't show me the average, though. That my average day of what I do. But that's me.
Oh, yeah, my average is like 16, 17,000. If a person walked 18,000 steps, it would translate to about 9 miles. That's a lot of walking.
So these stepometers are often that we've been using?
I think the phone is semi inaccurate. The watch is fairly accurate, but I don't know if anything's ever perfect.
9 miles?
Well, everybody has different strides.
Right.
So that's why they had to say about. So my mile is about.
How many miles do you think you do in a total day, though? I feel like I don't even come close to walk. Because like on the Stairmaster, I'll do 3 miles.
Right now, I'm at 5 miles and I did 10,000 steps. And it said 18,000 versus 9. So that's like kind of right on the money.
I'm at
right
8 miles right now. I don't feel like I did 8 miles worth of walking today, though.
Oh, how you feel versus what you did is, I mean, that's different things.
I guess.
You also ain't carrying around as much
I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like a full walk around this circle that we're on is close to a mile. I don't even feel like I touched that in a day.
You'd be surprised, especially when you got kids and you're just always on the go.
I guess like the steps and how many steps I actually walk back and forth from the house.
Like my little stand thing, I was like, damn, why'd you raise it to 14 hours? I'm like, because I'm usually standing 16 to 17 hours.
Right.
And it's not standing the whole hour, but, up. Anyway, next one. Or no, the average steps a day is 5,900. Snapple fact number 840. The only food that does not spoil is honey. I said that on the show, too.
I believe that.
Once again, one of the Snapple facts that is false. There are a lot of other foods that also don't spoil, including vinegar, salt, cornstarch, and hard liquor.
Okay.
Guess that makes sense.
Yeah, if you look at it in that context.
I didn't really count salt, but obviously.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you call. I guess they're going off of like something you can consume.
I guess you can, but shit, salt used to be the first fridge.
But you don't even. Well, yeah.
Snapple fact number 878. Only male fireflies can fly. Just false. Snapple fact number 50.
Last one.
A mosquito has 47 teeth. And they're just saying, we don't know that shit for sure. Someone just said a number.
I need to know what mind state Lex was in when he got to these. We are insect heaven. I don't even think I ever thought of a mosquito having teeth. I'm worried about that long ass beak they got.
The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows.
All right. She does. Is what you're saying. They're cross shaded in. Cross hatch. Look at that. Hey, she got mad at me earlier today because I said that, that Camry is a pastel color. She's like, oh, you using pastel? Like, dude, I went to SCPA, dog. I know what cross hatch and pastel is.
Stipple shading.
Yeah, come on now.
And the last one, which I thought was the thing, a duck's quack doesn't echo. It's false. I always thought that was a thing.
What, quack, quack?
Like they're saying, like, if you put a duck in some like crazy acoustics where anything else would be echoing, a quack won't echo.
But it does.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you believe that?
Well, that's why it was an amazing Snapple fact. Like, oh, that shit's crazy. You would assume it would.
How old were you when you heard that one? I would have thought for sure.
10 maybe?
Oh, okay, that's cool. I'll let 10-year-old you live. Like, I'm not going to just kill 10-year-old you. Yeah, he was filled with dreams and aspirations. Shows to watch. What you got?
I'm also going to tie it into my 3 cheers. Shout out to Larry David. He wrapped up Curb Your Enthusiasm after, what is it, season 14? He's been doing it 25 years, though. First season was in 1999 on HBO, and he did his final season this year, and it ended a couple weeks ago. And I caught the finale like last week. But
is he sick or something? Or you just tired of doing the show?
25 years.
Damn, that's how long it's been on TV.
And he took a little break in between, but he started in 99. And that was only 2 years removed from when him doing all of that 10 years of Seinfeld.
That's not bad.
And it's like, it's never going to be in the conversation, at least to the general consensus, I think, of like GOAT shows of all time. But he don't miss too often. And that's a lot of seasons to not be missing.
Right. That's 25 years of, who else does that? Like with a live show like that, or not live?
It's not live. I mean, it was 14 seasons, so like you can argue like Grey's Anatomy and shit like that. But
25 years though, Grey's Anatomy's
been on it almost at least 20.
Okay.
Like it's creeping up there.
Damn, none of the black shows make it to that.
I think walking. Yeah, no.
That's crazy when you think about it. We still ain't free.
That's why it's a real big deal because once you get to the ones that like, oh shit, syndication and stuff like that, or I think it's amazing.
So he gonna be paid for the rest of his life.
I mean, he was already. But
even like his estate has worth to it if the show keeps running.
He makes more money on Seinfeld reruns than he does of Curb, I would assume. I think I'm pretty sure it was Mark who told me that Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld, every time it comes to re-up for syndication, to keep selling it back so they can run the reruns, they split $1 billion.
Damn.
Them two.
Big money.
So it's like, yeah, I'm assuming he's doing fairly well. But he didn't need to do this show. He was fine.
Yeah.
That was my show.
That was it? The way you ended was crazy.
That was my show.
I never talked about this one, but I'm on season 2 of it just because I talk about it all the time. But I thought it was pretty dope. I don't think maybe I didn't bring it up here, but the second season of this was really good. Full Swing on Netflix. And it goes into kind of like a Hard Knock style professional golf. And as anyone that's been keeping up a little bit with professional golf, there's 2 tours now competing for each other that are, U.S. based, that on a high level of having athletes. You have the Live Tour, and the PGA Tour, but they do like a behind the scenes inside look. They also do it with tennis. And I'm not really a tennis fan like that, right? But I enjoyed watching these like behind the scenes looks because it kind of goes into the psyche. What always gets me, and I think this will resonate with Lex a little bit, especially now that he got his head down, but it's going to click. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying that to be serious. Is that when you see parents being hard on their kids, right? I don't personally say anything because I don't think there's a big deal with that. But I think now that I have a very old school mindset of coaching. So like with the kids, I be not in your face grabbing them or putting my hands on them or anything, but it's definitely yelling, making them run and stuff like that if they're not listening. And I'm not hitting you with the, hey guys, like we need to have better choices. You're not going to get that out of me, right? Because to me, I don't feel like that gets the best out of people. And I usually see people who don't work hard at exhausting themselves, like say things like that to say like, oh, well, maybe you should. No, man, because maybe you should go run a lap real quick. You know what I mean? Because it don't look like you ran a few in a long time, right? So to be able to tap into that, you have to be a little bit different. I will say that like the pressures that some of these athletes that they feel and stuff like that, it's crazy, right? And in golf specifically, it's a boys club. But like looking at like what these guys go through and their days in and out, like everything they do is 100% dedicated to their craft. And I started having thoughts of like, like if my kids are playing baseball and golf and stuff like that right now, because we're working on it, there's no love that's going to be built out of that. Like even for me, when I was growing up playing and shit like that, like there was a point where I tell people all the time, if my son wasn't playing right now, I wouldn't coach baseball. I don't give a two shits about it, other than just watching my team who hasn't been good in 10 years, so I'm not too worried about it. Right? Like I don't get the same enjoyment that people get out of watching a baseball game because I know game situations. Right? Like soon as I see it, runners on first and second, I'm looking at where the outfielder is. I'm looking at what the coaches may be calling. I'm looking at where they're at in the game. Maybe you look at basketball the same way. But when I watch baseball, it's not a very enjoyable experience for me because I know the game, because I teach it and watch it. So it's like, it's just not that enjoyable for me. So I think about that same thing with my kids. It's like, damn, are they really going to enjoy this? So like watching Full Swing is like one of those things where it's like, today I let off the gas. I was like, let's just have a family day. Right? Like, but I thought it was dope though, because it showed you that. And then how much money these guys actually really be winning, right? Like there's guys that would never crack the top 20 that keep playing. They asked Louis Oosthuizen, Louis, why do you still play when you play 60s? Like they still pay for 60th, right? I
saw that shit on Happy Gilmore. I was like, hey, this motherfucker's a regular dude. Yeah. He's still making a little change.
It's like being a minor leaguer. If I make like $90,000 to $100,000 a year at my, it's better than working at a cell phone booth because more than likely I don't have a college degree because I left. Right? So why not be a lifetime minor leaguer? I'd be all right. I know that I'll never probably make it to the show. What's that guy's name that y'all had for the Lakers 20 that came out and he spent forever in the G League? Shaw.
Like the 34-year-old rookie?
Yeah.
My guy?
You never know. You know, and he stuck with it. You know, there was somebody laughing like, man, he ain't gonna never do it. But
no,
he did.
I definitely feel you on like, because I did like I can't coach these kids. I hit the bare minimum I have for anybody on, like, you have to care somewhat.
Yeah.
Because if y'all don't care at all, like, I don't have that gear in me.
This is not your age group yet, then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not. Like, I don't have that gear in me where I'm like, okay, I asked G, like, hey, do you just want to have fun or do you want to get better? So he says he wants to get better, so I talk to him a certain way.
Right, because if you have fun, it'd be like, all right, do your thing.
But when I see you at practice and y'all playing around, and your friends over here looking at dandelions and y'all can't even line up on the ball correctly, I can only do so much with a group like that.
It hit different. Yeah.
And it's like, and Friday, you know, they did better on defense. Instead of getting blown out by 5-6 touchdowns, it was only like 3.
Yeah.
Had a couple good plays. They just don't know how to move the ball. But I'm on the sideline and I'm like, I can't go all in because I'm like, okay, it's different. Like at the practices, it was a bunch of dads there and they were like, yeah. But when there's everybody there and there's, oh my, you know, I didn't want to be like, the fuck are y'all doing? Because they ate.
Right.
But, and I'm also like trying not to, like, I'm remembering, because I didn't play organized sports at all until I was at least 12. But I remember being 8. And by the time I got wherever I got, like, I wanted to play because I cared. And by the time I showed up, I had a general understanding and I was like semi good at whatever sport we were doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys are coming from far behind for whatever reason, but y'all don't care. Like, I felt like I wanted to play, and maybe it's just being built different. It's like, I wanted to play, but I also cared enough that I wanted to be good. So yeah, I gotta listen. Yeah, running laps and that shit, no one wants to do that. But when y'all don't even want to do the drills to do the fun part, I'm just like, all right, y'all are a little, y'all not my speed.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be out there for another 3 years then.
No.
This is because I even around 10 or 11 is when I start to see we're playing in this 10 and under league, and some of the 10-year-olds are a little bit more invested and older and mature to have these things. Chris ain't. Because like the other day, and I'll get off this. The other day, I had him sit the game because we had another kid that needed to play. I mean, when your parents pay, the kids got to play. When you don't pay, that's why I miss coaching high school, because like, I don't have to listen to anything you say. You can complain about me all you want to. I'm not playing him. You can see that, I can see the work ethic in practice. And I thought I was pretty good at like, yo, you know what? You had a good practice the other day. Let's give you a shot, especially if this person isn't performing.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'm pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but most high school coaches and shit like that, they not. That's why I think I am, but yeah, they not. Because even my high school coach, I thought he was complete bullshit. Where dude led the league in strikeouts. I think he had like 60, and it's like, bro, he's batting $180. I mean, $120 right now. Like I'm 220 off the bench. Like, give me more reps. He got more reps than me. It was least and less successful. I'm coming off the bench cold right now. But that's a story for another time. That's just it. That's why I was like, yo, you know what? The politics in this shit is trash. Like, I batted like 400 in the winter. It's like, yo, he didn't do none of this all year long. Anyway, this shit was crazy, but it is what it is. Yeah, man. Keep investing in your kids. But check out Full Swing on Netflix. Go ahead, hit me with my 3 cheers. We could get up out of here. Sorry, 9:40. Right. I don't have any other 3 cheers that I need to get out that are too big right now. You got anything you got to get off?
I just tied it into Larry David.
Oh, you tied it. Shout out to Larry David there, man. Yeah, I ain't got nothing. Ain't nobody doing some shit. I'm still waiting on Kanye to give me my Yeezy Pod socks. Finding out people getting their shit 2.5 months later. I thought he got me. I started thinking about it literally last week, and then I got to a point in Saturday's pod that we listened to where my man said that he was like, oh yeah, it's been 3 months. I ordered them. So I was like, all right, if this is happening to them, I guess I can wait too.
Supply chain issues.
My man, he did too. 2 of my boys did. Neither one of them got their shit, but I thought they played us. But if he said that, I felt better. So